Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog idiot. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Welcome back to the show where we read legal documents where facts are optional and legal degrees come out of a Cracker Jack box. However, today we have a document from Randy, Jeremy's official response to Luthmann's whatever the hell you want to call the last few filings. The fast food court. Anyway, it's been quite the day. Quite the day. We went from having a great morning, it's going to be a great day, we're having someone come over to just do normal maintenance on the house, to signing a contract for a $15,000 repair. Yes, you heard that right. You heard that right. So if you hear me risking it for the biscuit in the next 6 months, it's because I got bills to pay. And a big one at that. We are replacing our air conditioning unit and all the ductwork. Yeah, you heard that correctly, on a 3-year-old house. Mr. Squid is having a day where his blood pressure is through the roof. So bless my heart if you hear me have to run away and take my man to the hospital because his heart exploded. Because it has been that kind of a day, which just adds on to that kind of a week. I had this document and I couldn't figure out what I was going to talk about today, and then I was feeling snarky. So instead of talking Tyler Robinson, we are going to do the Tyler Robinson May document and hearing update show tomorrow, where we just discuss everything that happened over the month. We're going to do that tomorrow at about noon. But today we are just going to read through Luthmann's filing. Most of you have already seen this, so we're not going word for word. However, I'm feeling snarky today. So, usually I don't ask this, but please, 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 please hit that like button. Please share this out if you want to share this unbelievable level of snark with other people. Share it on risk. But if you would like to send that Starbucks money, please do, because it is going to a worthwhile cause of my air conditioning in East Georgia at the end of May. Yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day. Yeah, it's been a day. So I'm snarky today just because, not directed towards any one person, but like life in general. JKD Buck, thanks for remember for 7 months. Good, we're here. Yes, and after the event of last Friday and all the articles written about last Friday, journalists or people claiming to be journalists can kiss my left nut, which I don't actually have. And Robert Ward, thanks for remember for 10 months. Hello there, Squid Goat. Florida man has entered the chat. And Kasha, thanks for becoming a YouTube member again. Appreciate you guys. It's not. It's not because the house was sold. It's not. We already asked. However, you realize that when MTD, the motion to dismiss, gets denied, and I get discovery and I get to bring back in a tug and others, that's you do you, boo-boo. Like I said, you got to do what you got to do. However, I don't agree with some of the things that you've done. I don't agree with some of the things that they've done either. I don't play well with anybody. And if you want to actually read it, my VA paperwork, we did go through when I went after Matt Walsh for his lunatic comments. My VA paperwork literally says social interactions may be inappropriate. I literally have government proof that I don't play well with others. So there's that. 101 here in Florida. Yeah, well, that's why I'm not in Florida. So I don't play well with others. Just don't. I just don't. And Roy, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Please give your better half a hug for me. And I want to give you a giant hug too. If you are the praying type, please pray for Roy and his wife. She could really use it right now. And he, as her other half and partner in life, could use it too. Knock it off, Larry. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Let's just help your be a day. Oh, like this is all going towards the ductwork in my house. And Kasha, thanks for the $5 super chat for the AC fund. I completely understand the humidity in the South. Yeah, next Friday it gets replaced. So if you see me, you know, it's a thing. Well, and I don't hate anybody. I treat people like they treat me. So, but I also have no alliances towards anybody because please let everybody know who's been loyal to me in this YouTube world. So I just treat people like they treat me. Yeah. So we are going to get straight into this. And this is very interesting. This will be very interesting to see as far as what the court decides as far as what is sexual smexy time harassment. What is images, doctored images, what it will be interesting to see if this case sets precedent. And that's really where this gets interesting to me. Because it's not always about I hate this person or I hate this person. It's the case details and the interpretation of what the law says and how it's applied, especially with the rise of AI, online issues, how courts handle YouTube beefs. It's very interesting. So my skin is glowing. Thanks. All I have right now is skin tint. I have no makeup on except for skin tint and some lip balm because we ain't had time. So, but I do have, yes, it's my F-balm. My tallow. Oh my God, if you have not used beef tallow, I started using it on my hair. Because I'm not a natural blonde. If anybody notices, I'm not a natural blonde. Just in case you have to be aware of that, just because I act like it doesn't mean I am. I use F-balm. Started using just a little bit on the ends of my hair as well as my skin. Tallow truth. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I absolutely obsessed. I use this everywhere. Literally, I have 2 cans on my desk. When I tell you I have more than 1 can, they're everywhere. I keep them everywhere. Go to tallowtruth.com, use my code SQUID for 15% off if you so choose. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm just saying. They're a Canadian company. Tammy, we don't hold that against them. because we love our Canadian friends here. So, and yes, we have people in our chat that multiple people don't like. I'm not a fan of anybody or whatever, but please be respectful to each other. If you have issues with each other, y'all are all adults. Please act like it. Block each other. Yeah, it's called military intelligence. We'll go with that. We'll just go with that. Yeah, I'm actually addicted. Oh yeah, scalpels too. I started putting it on my scar. We'll see how it goes. I can't actually see my scar, but I can feel it and it hurts. So yeah. And hey Calvin, thanks for being a member for 10 months. All right, we are going to get into this because it is 30 pages. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Y'all have probably seen it. It's been going around. But we did cover the actual documents, so we are going to cover the response. And here's my thing, because you know what I do. If we go into this, how many times can YouTube be mentioned in one document? We're not going to make it a drinking game because we would all die. And I am not going to contribute to the delinquency of anybody in this chat. Y'all do that enough on your own. All right. So we are going to get into this. This is a document from Pacer. It has been going around. No, I just give everybody the same warning because I treat everybody equally. It's one of those situations where I get a lot of people in chat from both sides. Sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. But I don't want my chat to be used in a way, one, against me. Don't say anything that's going to get me yeeted off YouTube. But secondly, we're all adults here. I'm not going to make fun of somebody just for the sake of making fun of somebody unless they've done things to me personally. Then fair game. All bets are off. But I just, y'all know that this is not a safe space. However, you're going to hear things in this chat, probably opinions from me that you don't like. I've gotten into it with my chat before. Because they've disagreed with me on things. And turns out sometimes I've been right. It's taken months for me to become right. But I'm not always right. But I am sometimes. Yeah, here's the bad seed. Yeah, one bad apple spoils the bunch, you know? Squid mods occasionally use their meter sticks. Yeah, they got full license to, you know. All right. So this is Jeremy's response in opposition to the motion to dismiss the third amended complaint. Luthmann seeks dismissal through procedural smokescreen. And when I've been watching the NTSB hearings, I've been focusing a lot on the language used. So I haven't read this, to be told. I skimmed through like 3 pages of it before life took over. But we're just going to look at the language used, because in those NTSB hearings, if you've been watching, they use a lot of non-committal language. But this is also where things like this, I don't think, no matter how much I dislike somebody, that I would ever, and this is where Luthmann, you can disagree with me all I want, but I hate you for that. Not because it was directed at Jeremy and Megan or whoever, just because you did it in general. That's just not my style. Just like a lot of people love Turtle Boy, I'm not a fan. Don't hate him as a person. His style of journalism is just not what I would do, and so it's just not my thing. I'm sure he's a nice person, just not my thing. I just don't agree with I don't agree with publishing shit against people I don't like, because I guess I just don't care enough. You know what I mean? Bye, Tammy. Hey, Nanny. Silver Fox, good to see you. I guess I just don't care enough, if that makes sense. Call me lazy. I just don't have the time or energy to care about shit that, I don't know. is a nasty style of journalism. Well, like Turtle Boy's just a lot more direct than me. Like I'm just not that. Like I'm bitchy, but just not in that way. Just not my style. Just not my style. I would never personally do that because it's just not how I operate. I don't like when people do that. Doesn't matter if they're my friends or they're my worst enemy. I just don't like when people do that. All right. After evading service for months by providing inconsistent address information and refusing to cooperate despite actual knowledge of this lawsuit, this is one of those loopholes. And Luthmann, I know you weren't going to say anything in this chat, but you know that was a procedural loophole. From a legal perspective, that is a gaping loophole of knowing about a lawsuit is different than being served. Totally agree. I'm just not sure if I like it. Common sense would tell me if you know about it, then and you're reading it. Come on, bro. It's a loophole. But also, I have the mentality of if you are correct in something, why do this? Why play games? That's what I can't understand. Yeah, the conflict has accused me of being someone in this saga wrote about me, but refuses to correct himself after being told of his error, showing his lack of credibility. You know, I, I'm so far lost on all this. I've been busy doing homeschool, and honestly, I cover it maybe once every time there's a new document in the federal cases. Um, Other than that, I really can't answer a lot of questions for people because we have Tyler Robinson, the monthly recap to get to. We're doing the Anna Kepner on Monday, with all the docs and Anna Kepner. We've done every Wednesday, we're doing the next part of the NTSB hearings. We're just busy with a lot of things that aren't this. And no, it hasn't been great for the subscriber count or the income, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Defendant now, after being defaulted over his objections, attempted to re-challenge the substitute service that his own evasion necessitated. After creating and publishing a fabricated Smexley time exhibit image to destroy plaintiff's reputation and livelihood. Yeah, I don't agree with this. And it might have not been real, but that's part of the problem. And that's part of what I'm interested in. Whether the law will cover AI images or, you know. And thanks, KC5. I appreciate that. I'm only me, and I have 2 channels. So if you don't know, I do have a second channel. My second channel is all about me. Literally, it's all about me. It is my corrective exercise because I have a background and a degree in occupational therapy assistant and never want to work in that again. And I am starting a business in conjunction with a friend of mine. We've kind of put it to the side after the events of last Friday. So if you don't, okay, sidebar, if you don't know, the DA in my area passed away last Friday. With that being said, I was holding his hand when he went unresponsive. So it's been a long week. Very long week. It's been a very long week. And that is my passion project. So yeah. And Patrick, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Care how you want. I appreciate you being a member for 20 months. And Nanny Clampett, thanks for being a member for 5 months. Next Tuesday, we are restarting Timu Law School, which is funny. But yeah. Yeah, there's just because the governor has to replace him, there's been a lot of like online rhetoric about it being foul play and this and that. And it's like I was not just there. I was like this far away. So yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week. So, as a social media influencer with over 730,000 subscribers. So, mm, defendant claims the statute does not apply because the image was manipulated rather than authentic. That is what I'm really interested in. Sorry. And after plaintiff pleaded damages exceeding $370,000 based on harm to substantial social media business, defendant claims the amount in controversy is insufficient. Each argument fails. I'm just very interested in seeing lurking from Newton. We're practically neighbors, I think. Ooh. Why did my stream start on my phone? That was weird. So I just have to return a text message real quick. Whoa. All right. Feels longer than 5 months, but I did think YouTube did one of its things and didn't realize it for a few months. That happens. So I'm very curious on this, where the manipulated part comes in. Because that's a thing with people making AI images of people using AI images. There's things of people using AI images and AI voice to trick people, to trick families into thinking that their families are being kidnapped. Like there's some seriously creepy people out there. So I'm very interested into where this, but this is one of the things that I can't wait for. And I can't wait for discovery, because these are some things that I truly want to see. What is actually what everybody has. And one of the things I really want to see is the $370,000, where those numbers come from. Seriously curious about that. Benny checking in from Athens. Wow. How is Athens this time of year? I've been to where the hell did I go? Crete is the closest I've gotten. And Tammy, thanks for gifting 10 Squid Purple memberships and keeping the chat green. Appreciate you. All right. Substitute service is proper under Section 48-181, which authorizes service on any person concealing their whereabouts regardless of residency status. Defendant concealed his whereabouts by providing inconsistent addresses, refusing to facilitate service despite direct contact with plaintiff's counsel, and making personal service impossible. I don't disagree with that. And this is like, I call balls and strikes where I see them. Go Dogs. Still love you though. Alternatively, the court should grant additional time under FRCP 4M because plaintiff showed good cause through extensive efforts thwarted by defendant's evasion. And defendant has suffered no prejudice given his actual notice since August 2025 and full participation in this litigation. Yeah, it's interesting that this is where that like loophole comes in that I'm just not entirely comfortable with. Is you've read it. I've heard that you've read it all in people's streams. I don't know. I barely have enough time to watch people that I subscribe to, let alone people that I don't subscribe to. With that being said, when you've been filing documents in this case, that's where I'm like, it's a loophole that I think the courts in general, not just this court specifically, but nationwide, need to shut down. Because this is not the only case where this has happened. It's just the one we're currently focusing on. But I can almost guarantee That is not the only one. However, he has suffered no prejudice because you've been filing things since August of 2025. Mm, it's one of those things. 30 miles south of Atlanta. Yeah, I'm a little bit closer to Savannah. So, it would be amazing to see any discovery. Yeah, I any discovery from anywhere and anybody. And Tammy, this makes me so happy. Tammy Ian Heidel, I appreciate her. She got me through so much, or through a lot on her other channel. I'm so, so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. Well, I kind of did dox myself with telling you what the events of last Friday. So, you know, count to adequately state the claim under the Smexy Time Harassment Statute, Cyber Harassment Statute. The statute's definition of an explicit image as any image depicting a person engaged in that conduct is broad and unqualified, encompassing manipulated images. And I have to read I've read Georgia's her cyber harassment laws because they apply to me. I have not actually read Florida's in a long time. I want to say over a year. So do not quote me. And this is why I don't ever claim to be a lawyer or to be knowledgeable in that shit. Because these statutes I don't read on a regular basis. I don't know. I don't have the legal education. My background is in healthcare. I do have a degree, but it's in healthcare, not law. But it does give me the critical thinking skills to break things down. Oh, people messaging me. Oh. All right. A narrow interpretation excluding edited images would create an absurd loophole and allowing perpetrators to avoid liability simply by fabricating images. And I agree. But it's not what we think, because remember, there's always a difference between what we think the law should be and what we think it's interpreted as and what judges interpret it as, which is one of the reasons I hate lawyers. And I say this because most politicians are lawyers. These are the fuckers that are writing these statutes so difficultly worded. This past week, we did the Carly Gregg Wednesday morning. We had 2 streams on Wednesday. Wednesday, we did Carly Gregg's appeal hearing. If you don't know, Carly Gregg is a 14-year-old, now she's 15, I think, who was convicted of, when she was 13, shooting her mother in the face 3 times and attempting to shoot her stepfather. Well, she didn't attempt to shoot her stepfather. She did. She just didn't kill him. She went to the Mississippi Supreme Court to argue a whole bunch of shit that didn't make any sense. But with her case, there's what we think should be the law and what we know is the law. There was a statute problem in Mississippi, and even the judges were like, how this statute is written. And it's like, this is why I hate lawyers, because lawyers are the ones writing these statutes in the most wordy, unsimple, twisted kind of way where it's difficult to interpret. Just say what you fucking mean. It's not hard. But no, they gotta write all these fancy words because they got all these fucking education, all these big fancy fucking words. Just say it like you mean it. It's not hard. It's not hard. Stay cool. Yes, and PSA, I might have to do mama duties. Mr. Squid is home, but I might have to do mama duties. If you have a problem with me doing focus mama duties, you can put your complaint in the focus group. That's fuck off because you suck. So, yeah, hit the like or the unlike. Just engage. Yes, I swear they get paid by the word because they're useless otherwise. Just saying. Although I will be hiring a lawyer hopefully soon. I have to talk to a couple people, but I will be hiring a lawyer soon too. Depends on how this week goes. All right, this court has subject matter jurisdiction because count 2 independently satisfies the amount in controversy requirement through the combination of statutory damages, actual damages, injunctive relief, and attorney's fees. The facts, we know some of the facts, so I'm going to skip through these because y'all know my biggest thing is I hate rehashing old shit. I like to, when things evolve and there's new information, I hate rehashing old shit over and over again. And a lot of this is, yeah, we know plaintiff has a social media business. Defendant Luthmann's conduct, we know January 28th, 2025, he sent an email to the Anti-Defamation League accusing Mr. Hales of anti-Semitism and comparing him to advocates of eugenics and mass murder. The one thing that I never understood, and if Luthmann is still listening, please answer this for me. You probably won't. But how can someone who has a lawyer who is Jewish and a good friend who is Jewish be anti-Semitic? You would think if he was anti-Semitic, those two people, Randy and Larry, would have called his ass out first. So, like, if you're gonna be an ass, like, at least be good at it. Like, you're not gonna be taken seriously. If those two people, two lawyers, haven't called him out on any anti-Semitic behavior, then I'm pretty sure he's not anti-Semitic. But comparing him to the guy from the 30s is a little, yeah. Don't you say those curse words in my presence. Ford Brooks. There's a rabbit hole we don't have time for. That shit show. Yeah, be a good ass or a smart ass. Don't be a dumbass. Ugh. So January 26th, Tug got an email. 2025, Luthmann posted a video online depicting him as adding a mustache to Mr. Hale's photograph and engaging in smexy time with a journalist. See, and this is where, like, you will never get me on your side to agree with that. Like, I could hate Jeremy Hales with a passion, and you would still never get me to agree to that or think that's funny. Like, yeah, like, I'm a bitch, and that's still a line that I would never cross. But just, I just can't. And that is one of the reasons that I don't like you. Like, the images conveyed Hale's personal identification information through his photograph, specifically by naming him in the URL and content. Mr. Hales never consented to the publication. Service history, starting in May 1st of 2025. Diligent efforts to serve him in Staten Island and Naples, Florida. Defendant was not known at the Staten Island address, August 17th. Defendant sent an email to Hale's counsel, stating that he did not accept service. Fair. Totally fair. Hales moved for an extension. Court granted the extension November 25th. December 29th, Hales filed a return of substitute service through Florida Secretary of State. Third amended complaint alleges defendant is a resident of Naples, Collier County, Florida. This allegation is based on defendant's declaration of domicile, filed in Collier County, May 20th, 2022. I mean, defendant's motion fails on every ground. Substitute service was valid, which statute authorizes substitute service on any person concealing their whereabouts, regardless of residency. And I think that was the biggest argument in Luthmann's last motion was you can't say that I'm a resident here and a resident here, and you can't do both, which I understand, but the statute says it doesn't matter. regardless of residency status. We'll see how the judge interprets that, because this is what makes it fascinating, because when you look at things and you're like, well, they might be right. Well, technically they have a point. It's very interesting to see what judges think. Defendant concealed his whereabouts. Third amended complaint's allegation that defendant is Florida resident does not invalidate prior substitute service, because 181 contains no residency requirement when the resident is actively concealing their whereabouts. And I know he has said that he has not concealed his whereabouts. However, I live strictly under the guise of, if you don't think you did anything wrong, why are you dragging this out? Yeah, pretty sure the judge is already I'm pretty sure the judge is annoyed with everything. Every time something is filed in this case, I'm pretty sure the judge takes an Excedrin migraine or Tylenol or something before he even opens these documents, because he is like, what now? I'm convinced. Like, I'm probably wrong, but that still doesn't stop me from thinking that the judge gets a headache every time he opens these documents. Ugh. 48-161, also cited by Mr. Hales, applies to Florida residents who actively conceal their whereabouts or evade service. Second count 2 adequately states a claim under section 748.049. The statute defines smexy time explicit images broadly to include any image depicting a person engaged in smexy time conduct, without distinguishing between authentic photographs and manipulated images. The legislative purpose of protecting victims from psychological harm applies equally to fabricated images. And truthfully, I think fabricated images are worse. And hear me out on this one. Because fabricated images, if you have an image of someone actually doing something, that's something they actually did. If you have a fabricated image, like you're not only putting an image out there, but you're lying and making shit up too. So I think it's worse. And to think this all started because one female. All of this could have been avoided. All of this. This has spiraled into something. And this is another thing. I don't understand why people insert themselves into shit. I don't. To me, that's not journalism. To me, journalism is if I sent an email to both sides. Only one side got back to me, fine. But I sent emails to everybody. I wanted to contact everybody, get everybody's sides. But I don't talk to anybody. So that's how I'm operating from this. Is I go based on the documents, because that way I don't talk to anybody. Life is a lot easier that way. When told to stop, made it a shit show. Yeah. Yeah, that you took time and energy to create something and had to be carefully crafted in that manner. That's true too. I mean, that's true too. Which is just gross. Just gross to me. I don't know. Like that, to even want to think about somebody else's spicy life behind closed doors is creepy. It's creepy. I don't know. That screams should be on a list somewhere. I don't know. But that's not limited, like I said, that's not limited to people involved in this case. That is just how I feel about people in general. If you are actively pursuing and thinking about somebody else's time behind closed doors, then you have a problem. Big problem. But that, like I said, that's just me. Third amended complaint adequately alleges all statutory elements, including lack of legitimate purpose and intent to cause emotional distress. And if I'm remembering correctly, people have even said that they're trying to cause certain other people distress, which is like, if that's your goal, don't fucking say it on the internet. Like, don't put shit on the internet. Like, don't don't say you're doing things to delay or cause people distress or cause people. Don't put that shit on the fucking internet. That is like, we need a new class. How not to be stupid 101. To me, that's as stupid as you can be. That's why, with very few, very few exceptions, you don't know who I like and who I don't like because it's none of y'all's business. Just putting it out there. I mean, there's some obvious ones, let me tell you. But other than that, it's none of y'all's business. What happens behind closed doors is none of y'all's business. Unless I need to defend myself. You're doing makeup, trying to type, keep hitting send before I'm done. It happens. It happens. The court has subject matter jurisdiction. We've read that already. Forced joinder is proper under Rule 20 because both defendants targeted plaintiff's social media business through a coordinated campaign of harassment spanning 2023 through 2025. And the claims share a common question regarding plaintiff's business, reputation, and damages. Not just him. I think half of this fucking country skipped the class on common sense. Up, down, left, right, don't be a dick. Please tell us your crimes. The detectives really want to know. Yes, didn't we learn from Mama Mo? Don't record your crimes. Like, she covers at least 1 to 2 stories a week where people put their crimes on the freaking internet. Like, she literally covered something this morning at Cedar Point in Ohio about a dude stuffing McNuggets down his pants so he could eat them on the roller coaster, and recorded it, filmed it. If you're gonna do something stupid, don't fucking record your crimes. Just don't. Like, don't. Tell me you committed a crime without telling me you committed one. I mean, my only crime today is having the thoughts about suing the hell out of like 6 people. I don't know if that's a crime though. Huh. Of course he filmed it. Everyone knows if you didn't film it, it doesn't happen. That's true. So the argument about substitute service was valid. Defendant challenges rests on a false premise that substitute service requires the defendant to be a non-resident. Florida law imposes no such requirement. 2 distinct statutory bases for substitute service through the Secretary of State. 48-161 authorizes it on non-residents doing business in Florida or individuals concealing their whereabouts. 181 authorizes substitute service on any person concealing their whereabouts, so process cannot be had. These are separate and independent grounds. Gen X's attitude. Do you have pictures of it? No. Then I'm sure hell didn't do it. Yeah, that's why I'm really glad that, like, the only social media we had when I was in my formative drinking years was MySpace. Because there are no pictures of shit to be found. Cell phone cameras really didn't exist. Thank God. And when I was in high school, we didn't even have cell phones. Proof for it didn't happen. Right there. Which is why you don't admit to shit. Laugh softly. MySpace is bad enough. Everybody had at least one friend. And you always knew where you stood when somebody's top friends changed. All right. Critical distinction is 161 applies specifically to non-resident or foreign business entities, while 181 contains no residency requirement whatsoever. Under 181, when an individual or business entity conceals its whereabouts, it's engaging in business or business ventures in Florida. The party seeking to effectuate service may, after exercising due diligence, locate and effectuate personal service, use substitute service in connection with any action with the court has jurisdiction over such individual or business entity. And that's the thing, you also have to get it approved by the judge for substitute service. So it's not like they just substitute serviced him and phrasing, I know, you know, and went about their day. No, they had to ask the judge. So there's kind of a, by saying that substitute service wasn't legal, you literally just threw the judge under the bus. And I don't know if the judge was going to like that. We also knew better than to put it in writing. We never knew who would betray us with their own words. Yes. Yes. That's why whenever you write somebody a DM, you write the DM as or email or whatever, write it as if it's going to be public. Never write a DM or an email to anybody that you with information that you want to stay private, because there's a good chance that it won't. Like, let's, we want to be smart here. I didn't have that. GeoCities? Yeah. There was like Foursquare too, but Foursquare was like self-doxing. It was just weird. I saw your comment, Heidel, but I'm not putting it on the screen. So, factual records demonstrate defendant concealed his whereabouts. Plaintiff made multiple failed service attempts at different addresses in multiple states. At Staten Island address, Dorman said that defendant was not known at that location. These failed attempts resulted from defendant's provision of inconsistent address information. August 17th, 2025, defendant emailed plaintiff's counsel refusing email service. Well, here's the thing. That's the thing. Email service is not legal in Florida unless you were a business. We've already established that. We read the statute. The judge said it multiple times. So this is where I have to play devil's advocate, because even though Luthmann knows I don't like him, he's got a point here to refuse email service, because email service in Florida is reserved for businesses. Businesses. So, and that was one of the things where people got mad at me, because Megan and Tug said. And it was like, I don't really give a shit what Megan and Tug said, because that's not what the statute said. That's not what the judge said. And it turns out, every case law that was given by people who said email service was correct were giving instances of businesses being served, not individuals. Like I said, when I know I'm right, I will stand the ground. I had to make something up. I mean, our usual Freudians aren't chatting. I know. And thanks to the 15 people who just left the chat when I said that I don't care what certain other people say. That was funny. Thanks for that. And I'm pretty sure, let me look. I got like 3 or 4 down votes from that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Perfect. But there's 93 of you here and only 62 likes. Can we change that? All right. It's just funny. Totally funny to me. And demanding strict compliance with FRCP 4. This part I don't necessarily agree with. Like, just agree to be served. Like, if you didn't do anything wrong, just serve. But this I agree with, because that's Florida law. It's No, they're not, because they're the same people who were like, "I haven't seen you live in a while." It's like, I go live 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week if you include my other channel, 6 times a week if you include my members only content. So, it just because I haven't covered this topic in a while doesn't mean that I'm not live. Y'all just don't care. And that's what I think is funny, because certain people want me to kick certain people out of my chat. Um, it's it's because certain people are I get certain people who will comment. I had somebody comment that I was copying Megan because my intro was long. First day on YouTube, have you not seen Camelot 331? And Cody knows I make fun of him for this all the time. His intro is like 10 minutes long, I swear. But I have people literally that will be in my comment section saying I'm copying Megan and Tug when I have not watched Megan and Tug in 6 months to a year. I was in one Tug stream for like 40 minutes the other day, and that's it. But like, I have people. So when people say when I joke about people leaving because I mentioned Megan and Tug, like, it's because I literally get people in my comment section saying that I'm copying people, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, but it's just it happens. It happens. If you don't agree with everything that certain people say, people will not like you for it. It's like, I always say, I don't agree with my spouse sometimes. I don't agree with my parents sometimes. I'm not going to agree with people on the internet that I've never met before all the time either. That's called being brainwashed or being stupid. So that's my well, Robert, I was military. You know, the things that make veterans very anxious is being on time. Being late gets my anxiety up over the roof, shall you say. Like, I am just me, regardless of I like people and I don't like people. And I like people and I don't like people. I like people and I don't agree with them sometimes. Hell, Heidel and I don't always agree. And I love her like a sister. Like, Gail and I don't always agree. Hell, Spawn and I don't always agree. It happens. So for people to be in my comment section telling me things, or in DMs telling me things, and I'm like, well, that's fine. Like, we agree to disagree. It happens. It happens. You know you're my girl. I apparently made fireworks the other day. There we go. Hey, here and after. I get so annoyed at certain channel for the timing and the title of a show doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the stream because of derailments, exclusion of I get derailed all the time, but it's because I talk to my chat. People have problems with that all the time. And I'm like, I talk to my chat. It would be different if I was filming a video and it'd be different if I was filming a video and I got derailed when I'm filming and editing a video, then I'd be like, okay. But, also, it's another reason on the other channel, this channel, I stick to the topic a lot better than I do here. Here is more drama, make fun of shit. That channel is straight to the point, 45 minutes to an hour live streams. We get in, we get out, we answer questions, and we move on with our day. That's, it's this one right here. Evidence through motion. If you do not subscribe to it, please do, because I would really, really, really like to get that channel monetized. That channel of yours is professional. Yes, that is my career. That is my college degree. This is fun. This is my snarky side. I get to make fun of people. I get to talk shit. I, whatever. That is my degree. I take that shit very, very seriously. Like very, very seriously. Um, but I did find, I put it in the book. I put it in the closet. I did find my lymphedema book. The actual binder with all the notes, handwritten notes that I took in class. So I did find that. We went through the attic the other day, and I found that stuff. So that's now in my, you know. Ugh. This email demonstrates defendant had actual knowledge of the lawsuit and direct contact with plaintiff's counsel. Yeah, that one does get a little snarky at times. Thursdays we do a live stream. I didn't yesterday because I had a haircut appointment. Side note. That one, Thursdays, we do what's trending, do deep dives into like what's in our food, what's in our cosmetics. Sundays are movement safety, getting back into working out, movements that could cause you pain, what happens if you have pain, things like that. Sundays are more serious. Thursdays are what's in our cosmetics, what's in our food, trending topics, what's the government doing or doing to help us or hurt us kind of situations. So, but we always bring the receipts. We always bring the research, but we also don't just read the research because it's boring as fuck. Just saying. So if you want to see the other half of my personality, the side when I'm at work and actually like taking shit seriously, right there. Defendant argues third amended complaint's allegation he's a Florida resident invalidates prior substitute service. The argument fails for multiple reasons. 181, as we've said before, contains no residency requirement. Statute applies to any person concealing their whereabouts, whether resident or non-resident. Validity of service is determined based on facts existing at the time service was attempted, not subsequent pleading amendments. When plaintiff sought to and obtained court extension for substitute service in November of 2025, plaintiff's counsel acted in good faith based on the information available at that time. I wish, and she knows, I wish Squid would do trending topics here all the time. And I do, there's just not enough hours in the day. Once the little goes to school, I have another babysitter who shall be moving down here within the next couple of months. And I have time to because right now it's like, y'all know what toddler life is like, trying to sit down and do stuff. And when someone else is in charge of teaching her things, and I'm not sitting constantly working through letters, numbers, words, colors, animals, stuff like that, how to dress yourself when we're past the, basic life skills situation and I have more time to focus, there'll probably be a morning and an afternoon stream when life is not as psychotic. But it seems like every time life gets a little calmer, shit goes crazy again. So we will yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the calm and professional you bring to your channel, but your snark works well here. Would love to see you and BBB in a cage match. See, and that's why I have two channels. So that I can separate out the snark so that YouTube can push my content, this snark content and legal stuff, to people who will watch it. And it will push that content to people who will watch and or need it. Because not everybody who needs that content will actually watch it. That's the problem, is it's very niche. Whereas here we kind of just do a little bit of everything. But that's why I have two channels. We're getting better. We're getting better. The inconsistency in residency allegations itself demonstrates concealment. I'm That's a loaded statement, and, like, I don't know if that should have been added, or I think this should have been worded differently, because I think that it sort of demonstrates, but it doesn't alone demonstrate. It it could, and don't get me wrong, I think Luthmann was concealing his whereabouts, I do, but, like, how things are worded is very important to me, because words are important, because if you say the wrong thing or word it the wrong way, and bringing it back to the medical side, if you've ever worked with people with dementia, or just cognitive issues in general, you have to word things very carefully, because if it's not worded in a certain way, they will not understand you. Um, think about talking to AI. When you are talking to AI and you want AI to make an image for you, you have to say everything from what you want it to do to what you don't want it to do. And to me, that's very important, because you have to lay everything out in the line on the line, because if you don't, there's going to be loopholes. Well, you didn't exactly say that. Well, that's not what you said. Well, you forgot to mention that. That's why words to me are super important. And it's just that's why I look at things and I'm like, I don't know if I would have worded it that way, because that leaves room for slippage, let's put it that way. Leaves room for people to weasel their way through the cracks, if you know what I mean. Yeah, butter is so blasé, snarky, eccentric is more fun. And this is both are my personalities, but just for different things. Yeah. But hi, AP, how are you? I hope you're doing better this week. Plaintiff complied with all requirements for substitute service. I agree. The Florida Secretary of State accepted service, and that right there is huge. Alternatively, the court should grant additional time, even if the court were find substitute service defective. It's basically saying, if you don't agree with what we did earlier, give us more time. You should at least give us more time, because we showed good cause. Good cause exists when some outside factors, such as reliance on faulty advice, rather than inadvertence or negligence, prevented service. Hey, C. Wilson, how are you? Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Thanks for the $20 super chat. Great stream, Squid. Hope all is going great. It Thanks for the $20. It is greatly appreciated and is going straight to my replace my air conditioner stream. Or like I said, so for those of you who weren't here at the very beginning, next Friday, today started off as we're going to have somebody come in and just service our air conditioner for the summer. Clean it out, just service it. Let's make sure that everything is good to go. Well, it turns out that whoever built this house and the people who installed it, which we've been on the phone with quite a bit today, with Mr. Squid pacing back and forth, trying not to lose his absolute shit, is not worth trying to replace. But now I understand why my bedroom is 3 to 4 degrees hotter than the rest of the house, because the ductwork is fucked up. So we're spending $15,000. That hurts me to say. That really hurts me to say. That really, really, really hurts me to say. To have our ductwork and our air conditioner unit replaced next week, because the ductwork is not only wrong for the size of the air conditioner, it's all twisted, jacked up, kinked. Take that one how you will. So it's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a day. Mr. Squid came home early from work. I didn't get to go to the gym. We had to fill out some contracts, things like that. So if you see me being a little bit more grifty grift in the next couple months, either contribute or mind your business, because girls got bills to pay. and I can't rely solely on my husband to do it for me. Uh, it means that also likely gets dirty in the corners of the ductwork too. Let's put it this way: they used about 15 feet of ductwork when they only needed to use like 5. It was like they were being paid by the foot. But yeah, but the coil needed to be replaced. So much shit needed to be replaced that it was like in the long run, it's going to be cheaper than paying $6,500 and then having to replace it in 5 years anyway. But at the same time, if you see me being a little bit more, please hit that like button, please share, please help with the ad revenue, please watch all my old streams, share them out, please help get my new channel monetized. There's reasons. There's reasons. $15,000. We just got a new truck. We did not expect to be spending $15,000 in the same month we got a new truck. You know what I mean? AP, thanks for the $10 super chat. 15K is not bad, to be honest. That's very true. It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate you though. Thank you so much. There's a rant by an HVAC contractor in Atlanta about why Goodman gets Weston Bama. How did you know that how did you know that was the bottom of the barrel right there? Yes, it's a lot of the installer. It's a lot of the installer. Our house is only 3 years old. That's the problem. We expected to spend this money in like 2032, 2035, not 3 years after the house was built. So, nope. Nope, because we are the second owners. We are not the people who lived here when the house was built. That's the problem. However, we did talk to the owner of the company that installed it. He is also building having all of these other houses. They are also doing that. We are also going to talk to, Mr. Squid has already talked to one of our neighbors about what their attic looks like and talking to them to see if we can sue the company. So, yeah, at least but that's far down the road before we will see any money. So it's it is, but it's not. It because it's a second owner. If it was the first owner, yeah, but it's the second owner. So that's the weird part. But Tammy, thank you for the $50 super chat. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I hope this will help. Please, if you can, I challenge you to at least $2. Thank you so freaking much. You have no idea how much you mean to me. Like you have absolutely no idea. You have absolutely no idea. I'm very yeah. They said I was anti-Semitic, but I know a lot of Masons. Interesting. Yeah. It does, but also you ever talk to somebody and you just know you're being given the runaround, they're not taking accountability and they're being shady as shit? That's the vibe we got from the owner. Like Mr. Squid literally got off the phone and was like, I feel like I'm being run around or getting a runaround. It's like, that's because you are. That's pretty much how I feel. Like, that's exactly how I feel today. Things went from calm, cool, collected to holy fuck. Like, holy shit. It's just a day. And that's why I'm like extra snarky today, because I'm like, shit went from being a normal, everyday freaking day, normal Friday. I wake up, I do a morning routine with the little. Mr. Squid works overtime on Fridays. Like, he comes home, I go to the gym, I come home, I do my stream. Like, we kind of a routine. to everything went everywhere. Phone calls. Yeah, it just, ugh. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Uh, Mr. Squid has an interview on Monday for a position in a different company, and now he's freaking out that he won't be able to take that because if they don't offer him the same amount that he's getting now, I'm like, "Ugh, it's a it's a thing. It's a big deal, and it's got overarching consequences besides just a new AC unit. Um, we're having he's in the having a crisis of like, I want this new job if they offer it to me, but I don't want to take it now because if they don't offer the same amount or more than I'm getting now, I can't afford it, kind of a situation. Which means I feel the need to step up my game just a little bit more. So which means not to grift, but sharing the stream out, helping me get 5K subs, helping me get my other channel monetized. Little things that y'all do help me out so freaking much. Because y'all might think it's just an ad, but to me, that might be 50 cents, a dollar, $2. That's $2 more than I could put towards bills and take the pressure off my husband, which is which makes me feel better, like I'm contributing my part. Because he is that provider person. He is that alpha male provider type of guy, but I don't want him to feel pressure and that this is putting pressure on him that I don't want it to. So, like I said, if y'all see me streaming more or grifting more or giving you guys more affiliate links, please bear with me. I'm trying to grow my business. Plaintiff made extensive diligent efforts to accomplish service. I mean, we all can agree on that. Like, we saw how many times service was extended. We saw how many attempts at service were made. Like, it's just, plaintiff was prevented from accomplishing personal service by defendant's evasive conduct. I just feel like there was some, it's not entrapment, but there was just like certain things were said on like live streams that I'm made aware of. Like I said, don't watch, so don't exactly know, but people tell me things. Yeah, I always joke because I think it was the flea bags who called me a grifter. And I was like, I'm literally the world's worst grifter. Do you know how like hard it is for me to just remind you guys to hit that like button? Somebody in chat has to remind me to bring it up. Like Gail is my resident grifter, like my grifter mod. She is the one who will push all the stuff. Heidel is my super mod, got everything under control. Gail is my grifter mod. She will remind people to empty their wallets. And thanks, Karen. How are you? Like, yeah, like exactly. Like, just because I am bad, I am awful. That's why I say it. That's why when people joke with me, I'm like, you realize I'm like, I blush every time I think about having to grift. But it's like, that's kind of what YouTube is. So when people call YouTubers grifters, I'm like, everybody has their thing. Tug and Megan have breadstick money. Cody makes little rainbow night and has naked snake every night. Like, people have things. Everybody has a thing. And it was like, I used to have Baby Squid Banana Fund. We might actually be able to introduce bananas back into our diet now. Sure. Cross your fingers on that one. You know, some I was taking lessons from Jeff. I was taking lessons from Jeff. Like, yeah, we have a friend of ours who owns who is an HVAC certified, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to talk to him about getting another. But the thing I liked about the guy who came out today was when he was explaining to me the bad news, he literally had an iPad with everything they look at, their how they do installs, and had like, hey, for this size air conditioner, you should have this size duct. And it was like, my background is in avionics, so I had friends who were EPA certified for whatever chemical they use to service air conditioners. I can't remember right now. I told him, I was like, I'm familiar, but like I cracked the book. I didn't actually read it, kind of a situation. So, you know, hell no, there's no shame in grifting on the tubes. This lets us decide what we want to watch. Yeah, well, I did back in the day, Laura Owens. I had a birthday party for Laura Owens. It was my attempt at a grift before my channel was monetized. Um, I had a birthday party for Laura Owens. So, Freon, thank you. I was like, I know it's a chemical. It's on the periodic table of elements. I just can't remember what it is. So, uh, so I had friends that were able to service an aircraft with Freon. So, we can grift BB's birthday. At least we can claim he's giving you something good. He did super chat me one time because I said, if you're going to insult me, at least put it in a super chat. And I think he did. So hold on, edit avatar. Yeah, right. Oh, I swore I had it. It might not be on this one. But he did super chat me one time. So, because I said, if you're going to insult me or you're going to try to make fun of me, at least put it in a super chat. And he super chatted me $1. So I got 70 cents out of it. Probably 50 after I pay taxes. I've never seen a more pitiful attempt at grifting. you know. Yes, and I do have Ko-fi. So Ko-fi takes 5%, YouTube takes 30%. Just if y'all want to do that. Oh, speaking of which, thanks for the person who just gave me a nice Apple Pay, but that was the money they owed me. So, all right. The only prejudice defendant claims is being subjected to this lawsuit. I mean, y'all, if that's prejudice by being subjected to a lawsuit, and I know that people in this country are sue happy. Um, the lips lawsuits that we started going through, and you know what? I might bring that grift back because she started opening her mouth again. The more she talks, the more I want to read those lawsuits because they're entertaining. But with that, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. And hold on. Jeff. Oh, I got a Kofi. Thanks for the. You ever know when you're like trying to look at something quick and it never goes quick? You think it's gonna be, but it's not. Oh, Jesus. April, thank you very much. Yes, Jeff and family, thank you very, very, very much. I'm about to cry right now. This this was the I don't know, I feel uncomfortable even saying that this Kofi, $500 Kofi. Oh, yes, and I do have an update. Speaking of Jeff Grady, I do have an update that I was given permission to share with people that have been wanting him to have been wanting to know. So the PET scan today came back clear. We'll get additional tests every 3 months. And he's going to an inpatient rehab on Monday. So, mm, and uh, his dog is now home too. Not with other dogs, but away from other dogs, but still not at the vets anymore either. So I appreciate that update, and that is the greatest news. Inpatient rehab. Monday moved to rehab. Monday moved to rehab, which means he will get stronger, which means he is stable enough not to be in the hospital anymore. Thanks for everybody who has been supportive to and giving well wishes to him and his family. They do really appreciate it. They do lurk when they are visiting him in the hospital. I very much appreciate their support of my channel. Yeah. Yes, that's right here. That's right here. Like this. It's inpatient rehab. It's 3 hours a day if you're going to like an inpatient rehab program, it's 3 hours a day. But he can do it. I got faith. A lot of people can do it. I got faith. So he'll be back. He'll be back in a clear PET scan. Which means we are headed in the right direction. Hey, Florida Flipper, paying my tax. I appreciate you so very, very much. I appreciate all the lurkers. All right, let's get back to this. The being subject to a lawsuit is not prejudice. Jeff Grady had a surgery, and there were some complications with the surgery, and he's finally moving back into the realm of normalcy. He's going to inpatient rehab on Monday, get stronger so he can get home. So Jeff will be here and typing soon. Yes. However, we are very grateful to his son, his daughter-in-law, and his spouse for keeping us informed and also viewing and watching with him and tolerating me and my BS because like we are grateful that I'm grateful that I now know them too. So, oh yeah, Jeff Grady is Volusia 1. So, Tammy, you know who that is when you've seen him. Jeff Grady is Volusia 1. When YouTube changed from actual names to these handles, things got weird. So, now we still have people in our community that need thoughts and prayers. If you're the thoughts and prayers kind of person, we need people still need thoughts and prayers. DR to most and her family need our thoughts and prayers. Roy and his wife, Devil Fan needs some thoughts and prayers as well. Tell Volusia to get better soon. That's an order. Well, you heard it here, like second, third, fourth, because everybody's been telling you. Oh, and I'm pretty sure his better half is kicking his butt too. She seems to be good for that. So, and also, Unhung Hero also needs, and his wife also needs our thoughts and prayers. They are, DR is in our prayers. She's the greatest. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother. The Mackenzie Sharilla case, she has been her jail calls. I highly suggest you go to Jumpsuit Pablo for that. He has been listening to her jail calls. That's a case that's infuriating to me, and I just can't touch it because it's quite infuriating because she's the entitlement on that chick. Talking about getting pregnant when she gets out of jail. It's like, bitch, you're never getting out of jail. Or you're not going to you're not gonna be able to no, you unalived 2 people with your car. Yeah, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is definitely like it's a it's a thing. You need to promote your channel and be rewarded for your content. Say it even if it's uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable. But I've also never been like the center of attention kind of person. So having my channel, fears in life, being center of attention, public speaking, and reading out loud. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Which is another reason why I like my other channel so much, is because I am comfortable with that content, because that's what I went like, that's my college degree. Like, that's my college degree. I have 10 letters behind my name. COTA, CLT, and CES. The letters behind my name are longer than my name. It's like it's weird, but I have certifications that I worked hard for, that I'm comfortable because it's my career. 10 years, 12 years now. This yes, I do have a PayPal. I do. There's a hold on. See oh, I don't have it. I usually have a banner with my PayPal on it, but the police chief from Strongville lived next door. Holy crap. Oh no. Oh, happy anniversary though. I mean, get him some ice cream? Like, get him some ice cream? Oh. And once again, he adequately states a claim. This is the I'm very curious to see what the judge is going to do with this, because this Florida or Smexy Time cyber harassment statute count the defendant's motion to dismiss count 2 rests on a strained interpretation of the cyber harassment statute that would create an absurd loophole. The problem is there's legal loopholes all the time. So there's yeah. Yeah, and I do remind me at the end. I finally came up with I'm going to be working in conjunction with the business owner and the gym owner to create a program, but I want to get y'all's I what you think of this. So, but I'll do it at the end. So, under defendant's reading, a perpetrator could avoid liability simply by editing an image to make it false, even though the harm to the victim is identical or worse. That's what I'm scared of. And that's, to me, what makes this part of the case fascinating. Not because I think Jeremy was the victim, although it does suck. Not because I think Luthmann was a douchebag and a half for even doing that. But where this will set case law, in my opinion. This may set case law for how this statute is interpreted. Because it's one thing to write a law, it's another thing to actually see how it's interpreted and how it actually protects people. There's a you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what's always fascinating about these cases to me, is how they will affect the average person. So if somebody posted something about Mama Squid and she sued, would Mama Squid be protected? I mean, she would, because I would handle that shit, but that's just you know. 47 US Code 223H, the Take It Down Act. Yes, but it's one of the things of, we have laws in this country that aren't enforced all the time. We have laws in this country that should be enforced that still aren't enforced. So it will be interesting to see if something is actually enforced and how it's enforced. So it's it's interesting to me. Like, it's just you know, the statute's plain language covers edited and manipulated images. Section 784.0549 defines a maxi-time explicit image as any image depicting unclothed or depicting a person engaging in certain conduct. The word is any, and that's where words matter, like that shall or may. Any is expansive and unqualified. But this is also where words matter, and if you don't have the right wording, you could make loopholes. It's a, it's just a, yeah, encompassing all images that depict specified conduct. The statute does not distinguish between photographs and digital creations. Case in point, immigration laws. Yeah, yeah. It's a. Hmm. So, had the legislature intended to limit the statute to authentic photographs, it could have used narrower conduct. Instead, it chose the broad term any image. The only thing that my only argument here, if I were the defense, and I'm not saying that this is, but if I were defending this, I would be like, well, the rise of AI came about 2022, and this statute was put into place whenever it was. I don't know when it was actually put into place. It could have been after, but I would try to use that. They didn't intend, or they didn't know that you could make AI images. If the timeline adds up, I don't know, but that's the only thing that I would think that would be valid, or at least plausible argument to this. Other than that, they say any image. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a cartoon image. Could be an image that you drew with a pen and a piece of paper. It just says any image, which is the statutory definition of images reinforces this breadth, stating that the term includes but not limited to photograph, picture, motion picture, film, or video or representation. I mean, the statute uses the word depicting to describe the relationship between the image and the conduct. To depict means to represent by a picture or to portray. I mean, just good luck. He was so confident when he came in here and said that his motion to dismiss was going to be granted. I'm not so sure. Like I said, not a lawyer. But even if I wasn't on Jeremy's side for a lot of what's going on, this to me is a line that was crossed that I would want to protect, because I'd never want to get the reputation of a judge that does not take smexy time crime seriously. I would never, ever, ever want to be the judge that got that reputation. So I would be taking this a little bit more seriously than probably everything else in this case. It's the complaint adequately alleges all statutory elements. Bell v. Twombly, again, I mean, how many times have we heard that in the last year? I swear we could make a drinking game of Bell v. Twombly. Third amended complaint adequately alleges all elements of smexy time cyber harassment. The complaint alleges the defendant posted a video engaging in oral smexy time. This image depicting a person engaged in certain conducts, that's satisfying the statutory definition. I mean, it kind of seems a little too obvious that this is why that is true. That is true. Good point. I forgot about Photoshop. But Photoshop, you still had to do the work. AI, you're not actually doing anything but putting in a prompt. Meow. It's I don't know. See, and this is how you know that I know myself and I laugh at myself. I don't take myself too seriously because I freaking derailed merch. Uh, so the complaint alleges the video was published at a specific internet address, satisfying the requirement that the image be intentionally published to a website. Fourth, the complaint alleges that the plaintiff never consented to the publication, did not authorize, approve, or give permission, which is consent requirement. And consent is huge in anything. In anything. You always get consent. If you're going to do anything, even if it's sometimes sharing someone else's video, get consent because that saves you a lot of time and trouble later. Just a lot of time and trouble. Especially get consent in writing because, that's even a. Fifth, the complaint alleges the image was posted to harass or defame. That publication would serve no legitimate journalistic, educational, or lawful purpose. Luthmann had no relationship with the plaintiff that would justify publication. I really don't know what would justify publication, even if they had a relationship. If someone can explain that one to me, besides being a porn star, if Jeremy and Luthmann were friends, what would justify publication of this? I still have no idea. Not a clue. And the publication was not newsworthy. Only if you work for the National Enquirer or the Daily Mail. Sixth, the complaint alleges that prior to publishing the video, Luthmann sent emails making false accusations that plaintiff was anti-Semitic, comparing plaintiff's advocates of eugenics and mass unalivings. And this is my argument against that. Have we not known Larry Foreman long enough to know that he would be the kind of person to call this bullshit out? Because Larry Foreman, I don't know him that well, but I have watched his content since before Johnny Depp, or around Johnny Depp. 4 years ago now. He's the kind of person to call out the bullshit when he sees the bullshit. If Jeremy was bullshit, I'm pretty sure that both he and Randy would have said something, or Randy would not take on Jeremy as a client if Jeremy was anti-Semitic. This is just logic. It's one thing to call people names, but when you logic out, it's like when you don't agree with somebody in the way they voted and you call them a Yahtzee. It's like, it sounds good, oh, they're this horrible person, until you logic it out and find out that it makes absolutely no freaking sense. It's kind of the same thing here. Oh, it sounds good. I'm gonna get him. The Anti-Defamation League is really gonna side with me. And then when you logic it out, it does not make sense. It just does not make sense. It just doesn't. And Harry, I'm not even. He knows. He knows. He's just being Harry because that's what he does. Because he's snarky like that, and I'm not falling for it. Defendant's First Amendment concerns are unfounded. 784-049 requires proof that the publication was made for no legitimate purpose. This element protects legitimate journalistic, educational, and artistic uses of smexy time explicit images. True parody or satire serving a legitimate purpose would not violate the statute because such uses would satisfy the legitimate purpose element. Like, see, he knows. And thank you to Jeff. Uh, Florida statute on smexy time cyber harassment updated in 2025. See, see, and this is why Jeff Grady and his family support my channel. And without Jeff Grady, my channel would not be what it is because he not only has helped me with like the Ko-fis and super chats, but he also like messages me things that would help me, like, oh, the Florida statute on smexy time cyber harassment. Um, the hey, look at this, where hey, this judge is, look at this judge. This judge has ruled on this and this and this. Very, very useful information. Very useful information. While we're in the topics of eugenics, this whole mess in the current world in general has made me reinforce my beliefs that some people should not be allowed to breed. On the bright side, some people that think certain ways don't want to have kids. So it's okay. Like people that went off the uber toxic femininity bandwagon don't want kids. And that's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. Sense has little to do with this guy. Yeah, that's true. So, an image includes, but not limited to, photograph, picture, motion picture, film, or video. Yeah. Um, if Jeremy sees this, please do not take this the wrong way. But you did not identify, and I did not look because I still have not seen that image or whatever because I did not look because I had no interest in looking. But he mentioned personally identifiable identification information. I hope Jeremy laughs at this and hope he gets a little laugh at this. Means any information that identifies a person and includes, but is not limited to, name, postal or email address, telephone number, social security number, date of birth, or any unique physical representation. You can do with that information based on the images that were released what you will. But I heard people on the hater side argue that he was obsessed with his 2-inch pipe. Seems like the haters are more obsessed with his 2-inch pipe than he is. Just saying. Just saying. Yes, but Jeffrey, way to be uber liberal or literal. Way to be uber literal. Yes, but never mind, Jeffrey. That went over your head. People don't want kids are smart for them. They might have a good look at their future. It's a thing. Jeffrey, I know. But the innuendo that people were using to make fun of Jeremy, personally, I think Jeremy should have released 2-inch pipe merch, but that's just me. There. Thank you, Heidel. When do we ever clean things up around here? My brain permanently lives in the gutter. That's why I get along with certain people so well. Uniquely physical representation. It's all downhill plumbing from there. That he did have 2-inch pipe merch. There we go. See, this is how much I don't pay attention to things. Like it's baseball season again, so watching YouTube when there's a baseball game, when baseball, hockey are on at the same time. Shit gets weird. Like, there's not enough hours in the day to consume everything that I want to consume and have a life and read a book and have a job. Like, shit just doesn't, there's just not enough hours. Some stuff has to be set aside. We know it's all downhill. Might have been uphill. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. The complaint alleges that the publication was done solely to harass and humiliate, which, based on if I'm remembering what was said on people's podcasts or live streams, that's pretty accurate. Adding a mustache to an image depicting plaintiff does not transform the publication and protect parody. The Hustler magazine versus Falwell is a nice touch. First Amendment does not protect the creation and publication of false explicit images for the sole purpose of harassing and defaming. Thank you, Jeffrey, for joining the club instead of trying to make it clean. Oh my goodness. The damages wording is immaterial. The prayer for relief seeks 370,000 or 5,000, whichever is greater. When the statute provides for $10,000 or actual damages, whichever is greater, the scrivener's error in the prayer or relief that does not affect the adequacy of the underlying claim. That's, yeah. Which is why I hate that prayer for relief. I get why it's there. And like, yes, we are the thoughts and prayers kind of people here. However, having the prayer for relief in a document, I feel like just gives someone an opportunity to make a mistake. A scrivener's error, shall you say. The court has subject matter jurisdiction. Yeah. The third amended complaint seeks the greater amount actual damages. And like I said, I don't know how he came up with that number. I'm not saying that it's valid or it's not. I'm just curious because that's a lot of money. That's an amount of money that takes me a few years to ever see. So, yeah. Actual damages allegations are sufficient and plausible. The amended complaint alleges plaintiff suffered multiple categories of damages as a result of that. I can only say it so many times before my stream gets demonetized, and we've already had that grifting conversation, so I'm going to highlight it now. Otherwise, I will get a message from YouTube that says your stream has been demonetized for terms of service, because even though I'm only reading, it's still yeah. And thank you, Karen, for the $10 PayPal. I appreciate that. It does mean a lot to me. I really, really appreciate that. Hey, in my defense, my brain, don't say shit, just let it go, is not worth it. My mouth, however, listen here. I saw a t-shirt the other day that I might buy that says, I refuse to argue with people who should have been swallowed. That's my personality in a heartbeat. I saw the last name, so I knew it was you. I don't, when people PayPal me or Ko-fi me, if I know who they are with their screen names, I try not to give out personal information, if you know what I mean. So if I know someone's first name, but I know that there's somebody else in chat, I will say their screen name in chat. If I know who they are, because I'm not, and that's why we get along. Hey, Rickles, how are you? With these allegations stated in general terms, they're sufficient at the pleading stage. Yes, we're still at the pleading stage. Hey, look who's in the house. Just J Hip in the house. I have to make that shirt for me. Yeah, if it wasn't made by somebody else, I would yeah. Please, Mom, forgot to swallow. Please, Mom probably couldn't swallow. Just a thought. Oh, Jay, I need your grifting skills. How do you do that? Can you teach me? Can you teach me your ways? Uh, the plausibility of the $370,000 actual damages must be assessed in light of plaintiff's unique circumstances as a social media influencer. That's the other thing that makes this case interesting to me is I've seen celebrity cases, I've seen random people versus random people. However, this is the first case that I've truly covered with a social media influencer, a YouTuber, suing people for loss of income. And it's like it's interesting and it personally relates to me because I've literally had someone go, she's this, Squid is threatening me, blah blah blah, and I've literally had people unsubscribe to me because somebody else made false claims, accused me of a crime, and I lost money. So it's interesting to me from a personal standpoint of how the courts treat, because this is new. Remember, our court system is still like 20 to 30 years behind reality, the internet, social media. We're just now starting to catch up on where things are. It's so I'm hoping that this makes the court system, even if the courts find this completely stupid and overarching and irrational and all this, I'm hoping that there will be some sort of start to take it more seriously because it matters. And online presence is a real thing. People have their whole lives online. That's how they make money. And when people say things, yes, you are a public figure, but when people take away your income, like when someone accuses you of threatening them and you did not, you simply asked to be left the hell alone. Um, what can I do to protect myself? So, you know, my fear is they'll try to catch up overnight and pass a bunch of laws that stifle innovation, invention, and progress. That's also an interesting take because you're not wrong, because usually we overcorrect and we try to overdo things before we actually come back to a sense of normalcy. So his entire livelihood depends on his online reputation and public image. Not wrong. Some people enjoy being the villain in the story. Jeremy doesn't strike me as that kind of person. I don't talk to him. I don't know. But he doesn't strike me as the person who likes to be the villain. If he was, this wouldn't bother him. But that's not where we are. Jeremy does have 2-inch pipe items he sells on Whatnot. See, and that's like I said, that's how much I don't pay attention. Like, am I wrong? This has been a screwed up, very difficult month. No, this has been this has been a month. Let me tell you. Just Jay, I need your grifting skills because next Friday we have a $15,000 bill to pay for a new air conditioner. So, yeah, and ductwork. So it's a like I said, if y'all see me doing some weird shit or talking about my tallow truth, my F-bomb, if you have not tried beef tallow, you should really need to try it. If you see me getting sidetracked a little bit more to hustle some things, I have been using this for months. I have no makeup on right now. If y'all can see, like, I got no makeup on. This is filterless. This is just like, this is just me. Filterless, no makeup. I use that every single freaking day. Every single day. Which public image we talking about? And the image, kid or his kid is hard to forget. Of his kid, it's hard to forget. Yeah, uh, mm, I I don't I don't know. Like, and that's the thing. I don't know Jeremy very much, so I wouldn't go that far. Needs to lose 40 pounds, then maybe we can talk. But I haven't started using it on my hair because obviously I'm not a natural blonde, so we get some straw at the end of our hair, you know. Yeah, he will grift for himself. He will grift for himself, and my birthday is at the end of summer, so. And hey, Tony Stewart, thank you. I appreciate that. I try not to overdo it, but you know, it did. It did. Thank you for the $10 PayPal. Oh my goodness. Oh, with the history of our Congress in the last decade, passing any bill seems to be past their normal abilities. Yes, I know. It's and Wesley Martin, thank you for the $24 super chat. Y'all are awesome. Like y'all are just awesome. Like y'all are so sweet. And it is greatly appreciated. Like I don't every time someone like super chats me or send me a PayPal, Kofi, Venmo, whatever, like it is appreciated. Like it's never expected because I realize that I am not entitled to other people's money. I will never be that person that goes, well, I ain't getting any super chats today. I'm gonna quit YouTube. Or I'm gonna get mad at my chat. That's not how this shit works. Like, yeah. I'm not like some people that will yell at their chat for not getting super chats. Like, that's just not how this shit works. I recognize that I am not yeah, he will do a birthday grift for me on his own channel. I know how this shit works. Yeah, I think we're almost birthday twins. When's your birthday? Because I think we're almost twins. So uh so defendant has not shown legal certainty. Plaintiff cannot recover more than $75,000. I mean, maybe devil's advocate. Maybe if this was like last like 2023, Jeremy filed this and it went straight into litigation, like the pleading or past the pleading stage into discovery, maybe not $75,000. But the fact that it's been 3 years, quite possibly now that it's been years, I'm sure now it's more than $75,000. So it's a thing. Injunctive relief adds substantive value. Third amended complaint seeks injunction requiring defendant Luthmann to remove the images and destroy all copies. And see, I don't think this is such a big deal. Like, why is this such a big thing to ask for? You know what I mean? Like, seems like common sense that this should be the least of what should be done. If you had a conscience, you would do this just because, like, I wouldn't do this to my worst freaking enemy. And I have some seriously, like, I have some seriously negative thoughts sometimes when I think about people that I don't like and what if I had my ultimate way with no repercussions, what I would do because I've had some Lord Chippy thoughts, if you know what I mean. However, I would not actually do this because that to me is a step too far. I wouldn't even no, no. I wouldn't even do that to people I'd like to throw into Lord Chippy. And if you know who Mo is, you should go subscribe to her because she is the queen of Lord Chippy. She is Lord Chippy. I'm just a Lord Chippy attendant. Gail, Heidel, we're just Lord JKD Block. We're just Lord Chippy attendants. She is the queen of Lord Chippy. It's and just thanks for the $4.99 super chat. I'll get you started, LOL. I've never gotten one before. for Just James' birthday, but don't give it to him. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are hilarious. Oh my goodness. Uh, leaving it up knowing it was heading for court and sharing it sounds like intent. Exactly. Like, exactly. That's what it's it's a thing. Ugh. And that could be referred for criminal as well, should they wish to prosecute because of the alleged crime. And you know what? Sometimes I think that things get referred to criminal too much or don't not enough. But this case, this instance, I would not be upset because that is, and I don't think it necessarily did any harm to Jeremy's reputation because people know that it was false. However, it's still that doesn't make it any less embarrassing and that doesn't make it right. You know, it's a thing. Ugh. Yes, and change it. Just change it to Dollywood by giving money squid. Are you going to Dollywood? Ah. Ah. The value of declaratory injunctive relief must be sufficiently measurable and certain to satisfy the amount in controversy requirement. The requirement is not satisfied if the value is equitable to relief, too speculative and immeasurable. And this is what I'm like. This is what I'm curious to see. Immeasurable. Like, how is it measured? And I'm sure Jeremy has um, reasons and ways. It's not probably not hard for him considering he has an accountant and all that. But I'm just curious. Like, hey Bree, how are you? And Cynthia, I saw you too. Hey. Yeah, maybe next year. Liz Barnes for Dollywood, same rules. We're hopefully we'll go next year. So uh here, the value of the injunctive relief is measurable and substantial for a social media influencer whose entire livelihood depends on his online reputation and public image. The removal of explicit images from the internet has clear monetary value. Yeah, how much? I'm not sure, but I'm sure it does. So late. It's okay. How are you? It's good to see you. The benefit flows directly to plaintiff in the form of protection of his professional reputation, preservation of business relationships, retention of sponsorships. This is the huge one. Retention of sponsorships. Because that's where people really make that's where people really make money. Sponsorships. Even the affiliate like this has helped me out more than ad revenue. So he says ad revenue and maintenance of his subscriber base. Those everything else is important, but to me, retention of sponsorships, and you don't retain sponsorships without the preservation of business relationships. So all these things are interconnected. So it's you don't get business relationships without a professional reputation, and you don't retain those sponsorships without maintaining those relationships. It's like all connected. Yeah, don't be like Jay, a clown loser. Like, come on. Oh my goodness. And this case is distinguishable from cases where injunctive relief was deemed too speculative. The court found the monetary value of injunctive relief prohibiting allegedly misleading advertising was too speculative and immeasurable. But when you can say, hey, I used to make X amount of dollars from this sponsorship, this happened, they cut my sponsorship, and now I don't have that money, that's not speculative. That's pretty easy to confirm. And I'm sure Jeremy has the numbers, and I'd say I don't know what they are. That's because he hasn't shared, but it's not my business. So there's that too. There's that thing that's like staying in my lane. Sometimes I stay in my lane a little too well. You know? Just in the clown loser in chief did it. Hey, when people say YouTube or like call someone a grifter, I'm like, welcome to YouTube. Like literally, welcome to YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing. Right now, right now, I feel like the antis are expecting him to present his entire case. And it's like, no, we're literally just at the pleading stage. We haven't gotten to discovery yet. Discovery is where you have to show receipts. The pleading stage, it just has to be plausible. So it's not fun staying in your lane, seeing people freak sometimes. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, yeah. The HVAC replacement fund. Well, here's the thing. The ducting gets replaced. My bedroom might not be 3 to 4 degrees warmer than the rest of my house. So I try to be cheap. Set my air conditioner for 73, 74. Try to be cheap. My room is like 77. Oh no. Hey, pantsless wonder. I don't have candy. Hi. Whoop. Hey, Stats. All right. Potential expert testimony on damages and the impact of the alleged cyber harassment. Attorney's fees in such a litigation could easily exceed $75,000 on their own. That is true, especially when you've been doing this for 2 years. What'd you grab? She grabbed my lip gloss. Bye. Bye. Please don't get that everywhere. Welcome to my crazy life. The cumulative effect defeats legal certainty. And the amount in controversy analysis must consider all components: statutory damages, actual damages, plausible 370,000, plausible giving or plaintiff's business as a major social media influencer. Yeah, you don't get $730,000 or 730,000 subscribers by accident, and 327,000 Facebook followers. I'm not on Facebook enough to work on getting followers, but I think I have less than 100 on both of my pages together. So, yeah, but you live in a place where air conditioning and a ceiling fan aren't normal operation. You look at our ceiling fan, and I see videos all the time of like people wondering why Americans have a propeller on their ceiling. It's called a fan. It keeps it a little cooler because we live in a country that has everything from the frozen tundra to the tropics to a desert. It's a very vast situation here. Pantsless Wonder is my YouTube name. That's why I didn't pick her up, because she was wearing a shirt and just yeah, we weren't wearing bottoms, so we're just running around in our underwear today, which is totally fine, but not for YouTube. She was appropriate, just not for YouTube. Each component is independently supported by the allegations in the third amended complaint and the statutory framework. Together, they establish that defendant has not met his burden of showing legal certainty that plaintiff cannot recover more than the jurisdictional threshold. I mean, pants are prison, but shorts are required. Yes. Yes. However, she is a big girl today. We are a big girl. We are not. We do a pull-up or a pull-up diaper at night, and we do regular stuff. We are past the point of being scared to, you know what I mean, drop the kids off at the pool in the big girl potty. We have made it past that point of being scared, which, bless her little heart, I was getting so like frustrated with it's you're a big girl, like, we got this. Okay. The claims arise from the same series of transactions or occurrences. Both defendants targeted plaintiff in connection with his social media influencer business. Defendant Preston was a viewer and a fan. Yeah, everybody forgets that part. of plaintiffs with the Hales platforms before returning to against him when denied access to his fan base for fundraising purposes. And I think this right here is one of the reasons that I'm like, when I'm in somebody else's chat and they say drop your link, I feel uncomfortable. Or when someone asks me when I'm streaming, I'll be like, DM me or it's on my page, because I don't ever want to be like, I'm never trying to take over somebody else's chat, because sometimes people will be like, oh, good stream. It's like, thanks, appreciate it, but let's get back to the topic at hand, because that's a smaller version of this, taking over somebody else's spot. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like, Preston's defamatory campaign included road signs, social media posts, attacking plaintiff's reputation, which she still does. Like, not the road signs, but social media posts. She posts all the time. I get sent DMs all the time about look what was posted today. And it's like, Preston filed a stalking case against him, which was part of her campaign to harm his reputation and extract money. Defendant Luthmann sent emails to, we'd already covered that, making false statements about plaintiff, the video. While Preston's stalking case was filed in 2023 and Luthmann's publication occurred in 2025, there's temporal and contextual overlap. Reading is hard after 2 hours. Preston's defamatory campaign began in May through September of 2023 and continued through her case until September 2024, when it was dismissed in Mr. Hale's favor. Both defendants' conduct occurred during a continuous period of attacks on plaintiff's reputation. I don't disagree. It's just just a thing. Misjoinder is not a grounds for dismissal. Even if the court finds the joinder improper, USCS Federal Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 21 expressly provides that misjoinder of parties is not a ground for dismissing an action. We have a whole house fan. We run in the morning until it gets to 70 degrees, then turn it off and shut the house up. Unfortunately, it doesn't really get down below 70 degrees anymore. And when it does, it's like 95% humidity. Yeah, so my Ko-fi account is like my PayPal is my business PayPal, but like my Ko-fi account too is it goes into my PayPal. So like it's just easier to track from even though they take 5%, it's easier to track from a taxes perspective. So I prefer the Ko-fi, even though they take 5%, whereas my PayPal doesn't. It's easier to track for taxes. And unlike some people, I actually care about paying my taxes and making sure that I keep business money and personal money separate, because heaven forbid you get money from people that you don't account for. You in trouble. So always keep things separated, FYI. And it's getting dark. It's going to probably rain, so we're going to turn that on. Let there be light. Squid thinks she's got it bad now. Just wait till she starts taking her clothes. I already live with a mini stripper, okay? Like, let's be honest here. No, I tell her dad, if she tells you that she can't take off her own clothes at night when she goes to change into her pajamas, she's lying to you, because she does it every day. So he brings up Florida's anti-SLAPP statute does not provide an independent basis for dismissal. Defendant invokes anti-SLAPP and seeks to preserve substantive protections and fee-shifting remedies. For foregoing reasons, plaintiff Jeremy Hales respectfully requests this court deny Richard A. Luthmann Jr.'s motion to dismiss the Third Amendment complaint, motion to quash, motion to sever, and incorporated memorandum of law in its entirety. I mean, so let's, let's see what happens. Gotta keep them separated. No, I'm too fat for that. Let's be honest. I am too fat for that. Like, I'm worried about the rising. See, it works fine. It's just very inefficient. Let's put it that way. Which explains my high as hell electricity bills. Even though I try to be a cheapskate. I try to be a cheapskate, especially when no one's home. And it's just a very inefficient. But if we didn't get it looked at and we didn't find this out, it might have failed in a year or two. So, you know. I just got a lost money refund, and I looked up the lost money site, and there was a check. The last they moved. Never hurts to look at your name or even your parents' or grandparents' name was real. I went to the French Riviera when I was in the military. I saw things that I did not want to see. I went to a beach in the south of France. And French Psycho, if you're listening, I went to a beach in the south of France, and the amount of leathery skin from being so in the sun so much, I was not used to. It shocked me. It shriveled up. Oh no, frozen stream. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm hoping it's back. However, we are done with this. So, final thoughts. My man is laughing so that I bet you did. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. So, all right. I'm going to see where we can go with this because I'm all done. I'm all done with this. And we have 121 likes. I am so grateful for you guys today. Like, I'm grateful for you guys every day, but I'm so grateful today because today it was just a day. It was just a day. And like, yes, Nyx. Well, Broken Baker is live first. So we're gonna go over to Broken Baker. We're gonna go over to Baker. Tell Baker that I said hi. They want Turtle Boy silent, canceled on Timcast. And like I said, I'm not a Turtle Boy fan, but I don't hate the man. He's got to do what he's got to do to get by. I get it. However, this is just, I cannot wait till the judge rules on this. Sometimes I wish they'd hurry the hell up because can we get a squid cap? Okay, what I was gonna do. So before I did go, so I what I was gonna do. So I told you guys that I was working on an in-person program that I was working on an in-person program that I was kind of doing where I train corrective exercise, but it's people who fall through the gaps. And I finally came up, and I have to read it because I wrote it down and I sent it to a couple people. And I have to read it because I want to get your opinion. So in the comment section, if you've made it this far into my stream, please enlighten me on what you think about my so I have to go back. I sent it to Tammy, and I have to find it. So read this, please. If you've made it this far, tell me what you think of this. This is going to be not a YouTube thing. This is going to be in conjunction with my friend who's the gym owner. We have put it on the shelf for a little bit because of the passing of one of our members or one of her members, and our friend, the DA in this area. However, I have a company called Built for Life, or a program, not a company. So here's my mission statement. Please be honest with me and tell me what you think, because the only way I can improve it is to get feedback. So I'm a I'm open to feedback. Just don't be mean. Just don't be mean. So, Built for Life exists to bridge the gap between rehabilitation, and independent fitness for individuals who need more support, guidance, and confidence than traditional gyms often provide. We serve people who may be living with chronic pain, balance challenges, deconditioning, mobility limitations, or increased fall risk, especially those who feel stuck in between being finished with therapy but not yet ready to exercise safely on their own. Our mission is to provide functional, supportive, and community based training that helps people rebuild strength, confidence, stability, and trust in their bodies through practical movement designed for real life. At Built for Life, we believe no one should fall through the cracks between healthcare and fitness. It's healthcare and life. I changed it. It's healthcare and life. We meet people where they are, progress intentionally, and focus on helping every individual move through life with greater independence, resilience, and confidence. Please let me know what you think of that, and let me give me your honest feedback on what you think about that mission statement could be improved, or if that mission statement makes sense to you. Because the only way I am going to get better with what I want to do is if people provide me feedback. But if I only have people providing me feedback that agree with me, then I'm never going to get better. And that's one of the reasons that I enjoy having people in chat and in my life that I don't agree with all the time, because the only way to get better at things is to hear opinions that you don't agree with. So, yeah. So, it's you like to fall through the crack. Well, that's my thing. Is it's a huge issue of I've learned, and I've talked about it on my other channel, of that circle, that the pain cycle. People have pain, they get weaker, they get deconditioned, they fall, they go into the hospital, then they get therapy, they get stronger, then they go home. Either therapy can't come enough, insurance doesn't pay, or they have a home exercise program and they're just like, I don't want to do this. I'm by myself. I don't want to do this. My family's not going to help me, whatever. They get weaker. They have pain. They get deconditioned. They fall. Their pain exacerbate, their health condition gets exacerbated. They go back in the hospital, and we are in this cycle until we leave this earth, get a celestial discharge, as my grandmother would say. So I kind of want to bridge that gap, and that's why I got my corrective exercise certification, is so that I don't have to work in a hospital. I don't want to be a personal trainer where I work with like super high level athletes, although that would be fun. But like, there's a population that's being underserved, and there are businesses for it, but they're expensive. They're very clinical. They're not community based. I want to be that community based. So yeah, I don't. I am going to be working with an intern who's interning with the gym this summer, who I believe is a marketing major, who will be helping me. But it's kind of slowed down a little bit since the events of last week are quite traumatic for a lot of people involved. But we're going to meet in a week or two and see what we can start doing. But that's my, that's my basic premise for what I want to do. So I appreciate everybody's feedback. When I have more information, I do have my link tree where you can meet with me one-on-one, and discuss certain things that you've questioned, but you don't want people in chat seeing your shit. I get it. I have a link tree where you can set up a Google Meet session, but that's my, I think it's a fine synopsis for what it's about. Thank you. I have little things to change, but that's the basic. Yeah, and that's eventually what I want to do, is get referrals from PTs, OTs, because me, when I worked with OT, yes, people would get home therapy once they'd leave us, but it was like once or twice a week for a half an hour to an hour. It wasn't a lot. And I want to work and eventually be that like link where doctors can, or PTs can say, hey, if you need more support or you want to join this group, here's this person's information. So, you know, built for life. So it's a, yeah. And of course, these would all be people, they would sign waivers, and these would all be people that are cleared for physical activity by their doctors. So this is not, you know, we just have a gap because we can only do so much after someone leaves, and it's a lot of you have to be self-sustaining. You have to have that drive and that want to, of someone not being always there to hold your hand. And sometimes people need that hold your hand, but it's not skilled enough for a therapist to work with them. But they're at risk for, everybody needs somebody. So I don't have any questions, but if I did, I would just say in chat, I might keep you on for the questions, but oh boy. Yeah. So it sounds exactly like what people ask. Well, you should go on my other channel because I will be doing tomorrow. We have on this channel, I have the Tyler Robinson, just a case recap, kind of going over some of the documents. We're not reading them in full, kind of getting a case recap for those of you who can't pay attention or want to know but don't have the time to read everything, and going through one of the hearings. Then Sunday night over on ETM, we have my stream. I'm thinking we're going to do more movement-based stuff, just talking, not actually doing the movement. But I have a topic to cover. And then Monday, we are going over not Athena Stroud, holy goodness, Anna Kettner, which was the cruise ship unaliving. So we have all those. Yeah, I need someone both to hold my hand and kick my butt too. That's kind of where I want to be. All right, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me. To the 98 people who made it this far, I appreciate you so very, very much. Y'all have no idea how much your support helps and means to this channel. I love it every day. But I will see you on the next one. It's going to be a relaxing night. I'm going to go eat some pizza. I'm going to relax. I'm going to have a glass of wine, and I'm just going to forget about the stress from today. Bye, guys. Tell Baker I sent you, and then I said